Hey, this is Dan Lefave, co-author of Stepping Stones to Success with Jack Canfield and author of Conversations with Money. And in this video, I'm going to talk with you about your money mindset. And this is going to be important to you because it's going to help you to understand how your mindset around money is more important than your physical reality. All right, so we're going to talk about two things very quickly here. First of all, we're going to talk about your mind and matter. Now, let's define these things. So what is matter? Well, matter is your physical money. So it could be your bank statement, could be investment statement, could be the cash you have in your wallet, your interactions with money. That's the matter. The mind part is the things that you say to yourself, the things you think. Maybe it's around vacations or cars or houses or something like that. You might say, well, I can't afford to buy that vacation now, or I have to save up for it, or the same thing with a car or a home, and you're thinking about not having enough money or having to work more or find other ways to make money, and that's your mindset around money. Or perhaps you go shopping and you do comparison shopping, and you're thinking about a difference of $1, and you're having a lot of issues around that, some limitations. And I'll tell you, that's not your issue. It's not your own problem. It's not something that came out of your own mind. It was given to you. But in today's video, we're not going to focus on that. We're going to focus on how your mind is bigger and more important than the matter, than the physical reality. Because what you're thinking about and what you're doing in your mind matters so much more, because it's impacting the kind of money that you have in your life. It's the way you interact with money. Because perhaps if you ever have money in your wallet, maybe you carry just a very little because you have credit cards, and you don't want to carry a lot because if somebody ever robbed you, then you'd be out of money, and you don't want to have money because somebody could take it from you or something like that, or you could lose it if you forget your wallet someplace or something like that. So think about it from that standpoint. But your mind and your mindset is so much more, and that's why I put it on the outer circle here. It's so much more impactful on your money, the kind of money that you have in your life. All right, the next thing I want to talk with you about is how mind and matter come together. And if this was a bridge and money was in the middle of the bridge, think about your mind being on one side and matter being on the other. And you're trying to bridge this gap. So you're trying to somehow bring these two together. And so if you think about your matter again, matter is what? What is physical matter? Your physical reality. The money in your bank, the money in your wallet, the money in your investments. That's the physical reality of it. And you might look at that and say, well, there's a limitation on that. I can't buy a $10,000 vacation right now because I don't have the money in my bank account. And if I put it on my credit card, I'm going to go into debt, and then I'm going to have to pay interest. And so that's the physical reality of it. But on this side is your mind, what you're thinking about it. Do I want the vacation? How can I get it? How can I find a way? Can I find a better price? Those types of things. And on this side, you could do things like, in terms of talking to yourself, you can use affirmations. So you can say things to yourself so you can change your mind around money and having the kind of money you want. You can also use visualizations. You can visualize having the money, visualize yourself being on a vacation. I've seen this happen many, many times. And in fact, it happened once with my mother, where she was talking with me about going on a vacation on a cruise, and she kept giving me all sorts of reasons and excuses for not being able to go. Like having the money, or who she'd go with, or where, and all these types of things. And at one point I just said, stop telling me about this. Just focus on what you want. Go on the internet, look at pictures, look at videos, look at cruise ships and where you might like to go, and then start asking yourself, who would come with me? Who would like to go on this cruise with me? And within 6 months, she went on this cruise. And I just congratulated her, and I said, fantastic, you did something really good for yourself. Here's $1,000. Go and have a great time. And so it was just a fantastic shift in her mind when she started focusing on what she wanted. She bridged that gap. She found the money. She found the way. It wasn't even the money. She actually found, I think she had some air miles or some points she could use that went towards it. And she ended up taking the trip. So she bridged that gap between mind and matter. And you can do it too. I also have a friend and mentor of mine, this great guy, Jeff Walker. Jeff started off in his life, in his career, in his life 20 years ago, and he was going through some tough times. He was actually taking twist ties off of bags when he was buying bulk food at the grocery store, just so he didn't have to pay for the weight of the twist tie. You know, he had about $400 income per month. That was everything for him and his 2 children. And that's all he had to live on, and he was taking these twist ties off. You know, his mindset around money was so limited, so small, and he was taking the time to take twist ties off. Now, you might think that's just insane because the twist ties weigh very little, and it's a fraction of a cent. But it does add up, I guess, you know, you could say that. But, you know, think about the mindset he had around money. And he did shift that over time. In fact, he created a product called Product Launch Formula, and he started marketing and promoting that, and you know, he started selling that in a very small way. You know, maybe he sold a few $100s of it, then maybe $1,000, and then a few $1,000s, then tens of thousands of dollars, and then eventually he got up enough courage, and his mindset around money had changed, and he wanted to buy a house for his family, and he needed $100,000 in order to invest in that house. And the same thing, he set his intention to generate $100,000 from this product that he has, this online course. And he went out and he sold over $100,000 worth of that course within a certain period of time. And he shifted his mindset around money. I bet you there's still some lingering limitations though around money in his mind, but you know, unless he worked on it. But you know, that's the kind of thing that can happen. So you can bridge this gap between your mind and matter. Now, you might think, how am I going to change what's going on with the matter, the physical reality? Well, when you go shopping, just say thank you for the money, silently or out loud. You know, when you make your payment, you know, hand over your credit card or cash or whatever. Just say thank you for the money, and you know, physically interact with money differently than you would otherwise. Be grateful for it. Even on your credit card statements or bills, write down thank you for the money. I mean, they've basically given you credit. They've given you money so that you can go out and do things with it, right? So think about it that way. But, you know, you have to work on your mindset more than you do your physical reality. But a bit of both can help bridge that gap and get the kind of money that you want, and you can have the lifestyle that you want. So this lesson is all about you taking the steps to change your mind. And there's affirmations, there's visualizations, and if you're not watching this video on my website, there's some great tools and resources there, or you can scroll down, leave me a comment, ask for more tools and resources. I'll give you some. They're not all my own, but I'll share the best that I have, and you can start shifting your mindset around money, because it can happen. Jeff Walker did it, my mother did it, I've done it, and you can do it too. Alright, so hopefully you've enjoyed this video, and again, if you're not on my website, go to danlefave.com, check it out. Bunch of great tools, videos, and resources there, and I look forward to seeing you on my next training.